Howdy, it's Matt here, and this is some FPV footage of my first FPV flight with the Mini Skywalker. Now, I am super happy with this model. I really like it, and unfortunately we have a slight issue with the camera, which I did pop a video out a couple of days ago, so that's in the top right, link to that's in the top right hand corner of your screen. And I think I chuck her. Come on, Matt, that's it, give her a lob. And you'll notice that she is very touchy on there, and I dialed the rates down, and if you watch, look, do you see that big black blob? That's the camera which I'm using, crapping out in the bright sunshine. So we're going to swap her around. And look how quick she's covering the ground. She really is a little nipper. Now, the mistake which I made on the camera setup, I think, besides obviously having a knackered camera on it, is that I genuinely do feel having part of the nose in the screen is always helpful. And you'll also notice there was 3 of us down there, and Craig is being my spotter. And even with that issue with the glare off the sun, I still felt really safe with that model, and I was in continuous communications with Craig to let him know that I did have a bit of an issue with the camera, and he was right next to me just in case I did need to hand over the controls to him. And thankfully it wasn't that bad, but I did feel comfortable just to carry on flying. And it was a bit choppy up there, so you'll see me dangling around in the air and having to overcorrect every now and then. But yeah, did you see that little wobble then? Yeah, it was a little bit wild. But that's the reason why I want to put a stabilizer in this model, just to make sure that I can fly her in a moderate amount of wind. I wouldn't say this is definitely a windy day flying model. It's more of a calmer day. But if I can get it into and be able to fly even in a moderate amount of wind, I will be super happy. Again, I'm not intending really to fly this one line of sight. This little model is going to be a little FPV platform, and I'm really happy with it. I can't say that enough. I said in the build overview video, which came out maybe earlier today or the day later, is that if I did smash this model up, I'd go and buy another one instantly. It's such a little neat, compact plane to fly around. It's nothing like any of my other flying wings or any of my other models, but believe it or not, because it's a high wing and also it's a T-tail. And you'll see me really enjoying the flight. I know there's an issue with the camera flying it into the sun, so before I turn left into the sun, I just make sure that I know where I am. And also the field where we're flying to, it was a really nice field to fly in because it's got a nice hedge line all the way around the outside. One of the corners has got an odd shape to it. And also there's some telephone wires all going down there on some posts. So, yeah. I remember having to chat with Craig about over the field over to the right-hand side. That we were chatting about, was it a good enough slope to maybe slope saw off. So even though we had a issue with the FPV camera, I still felt comfortable to have a good old chit-chat on the flight line, as you do. So yeah, super little model. Definitely does need a little bit of help with stabilization, that's for sure, especially if I'm gonna fly her for longer. So I'm hoping this one's gonna last for about 30 minutes in the air, so being able to take the fingers off the sticks for a few seconds just to readjust my goggles, for example, would come in really useful, and not having to correct her or panic if she's getting blown away. It is definitely going to be a help. So I know some people don't like stabilizers, but for me, to be honest, it's a bit of a no-brainer. If it keeps the model straight in the air and allows you to have an itch or find what you did with your cup of coffee, that's got to be happy days. That really has got to be happy days. So yeah, you can see me flying around. I think I'm going to try and set her up for a landing. I think I do this with the goggles on as well. Or did I take them off and then do it line of sight? I can't remember. Actually, I do remember. I did it line of sight in the end. So I'd taken the goggles off again, because remember I had a spotter right next to me just in case anything went Pete Tong. And here she comes down beautifully. So with that said, for myself, Matt, thank you ever so much for watching this video. A little bit of FPV fun. Unfortunately, it wasn't perfect, but the model Yeah, I like it a lot. So on that note, from myself, Matt, cheerios!